another Emet couples event. We got to a little bit of a start, a little bit delayed, but of course I think that's Emet, right? I think people are a little used to that. Baruch Hashem, things don't really happen as smoothly on a Saturday night, but Baruch Hashem, I think we're off to a very good start. I wanted to thank the Young Israel of Jamaica State for having us here today. I wanted to thank a lot of the Emet staff that are here, and of course every single one of you who are here, thank you so much. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Shai Yonayim. I've been part of Emet for about a year and a half. Since that year and a half that I've been here, we've done a tremendous amount for the couples division. We've had 15 workshops since the last year and a half. We had 2 community lectures. We had, as of now, 3 couples retreat. And as of tonight, we have 2 Melava Malkas, which I'm very excited about. And the number that I'd like to mention the most is the fact that out of all these programs together, we had over 1,183 couples that have attended our programs. So a big round of applause to that. I really did an incredible number. We've done so much for the couples division, and there's so much more that we want to do. So before I go ahead and I thank for all the important people that were here tonight, I'd like to show you guys some highlights from the previous couples retreat that we had in the summer. Some of you in this room were here, so you'll remember that. Some of you were not. This will give you a little bit of some FOMO, where you know to come to the next event, Bezat Hashem. Are we ready to show the video?
Sure.
Yeah. As we're getting to the video, I just want to be able to thank some of the people that are here. We have Maria and her team from Elegant Catering. We have Pearl from the wine store. Thank you so much, Pearl, for the wonderful wine. Sushi Tokyo for the sushi. Cafe Muscat for all the food. And of course, there's more people that we'd like to thank. We're just going to hopefully show the video in a few moments. My name is Shai Yonayim. I'm the director of couples here at Emet. Couples division holds a very special place in Emet's heart. One of the highlights of Emet's programs are Shabbatons. Part of the couples division, we're very proud to be able to offer Shabbatons of different sizes and different levels for various couples.
From a very early stage of our relationship, Emet has been there, guiding us, from Shabbatons at the Kegels to classes at our college campuses.
As we know, as a couple, we always have to be growing, so Emet is that growth for us.
As a couple, it's nice to, everyday busy lives, come back to what's true, away from all the technology and all the noise.
It's nice to have an organization that can, bring the family back together.
A lot of the students coming from fellowship, from campus, eventually end up getting married, moving on, and we're able to keep them involved with Emet, with them and their wives or their husbands, and they can continue coming to a variety of Emet programs.
We met a lot of awesome couples.
Yeah, and it's nice to do that with other like-minded couples.
We were just saying on the Shabbaton how we take it for granted. We have this mindset. It's not just because we got here from nowhere. It's because we had Rebbeim and Rebbinsons that always put these thoughts into our mind. And I think that till this day, we have a growth-minded attitude because of Emet.
At the retreat, we're able to see so many couples that we haven't seen in so long. We're able to see how much they've grown, hear more about their families, what they're up to, and also we're able to provide them with any of the needs that they may have. At this past retreat in Lakota Oaks, we were able to set up about 30 different couples to have private sessions with some of the Emet staff.
There's a lot of emphasis on getting married, but the importance is also to stay married and to live a happy marriage.
When I have a question for a rabbi, whether it's Rabbi Kegel or Rabbi Kraft, they know who I am for so many years that they tackle this question with such a personal approach, which I think is very hard to find in other environments.
It's different. Like, you can feel the wholesomeness in the people, you could feel the wholesomeness in the programming, and the speeches, in the topics, and in the food, through all categories.
We spent a lot of time and effort in researching for the perfect place for the summer retreat. Such an amazing location in Lakota Oaks. It was a hotel that was built on such a beautiful property with amazing scenery, trees, greenery. The couples walked away with such a blissful feeling, and it really helped enhance their Shabbat experience. The beauty of the summer retreat was that it was a little bit more intimate than the previous retreats that we've had.
Yeah, I think all the rabbis were amazing. The Shabbaton was...
Their wives were amazing.
The wives were amazing. We didn't feel any religious pressure. We actually just felt more enlightenment, more awareness. It felt lighter. It felt very much like we were connecting to people we knew, we were familiar with. And I think the approach was right, and it was actually entertaining. It was entertaining, and it was
inviting.
Very inviting, warm, opening, welcoming. And I think that's the way it should be. So we're very, very grateful for all that Emet does in the way that they deliver that wisdom.
They take a bunch of couples who have everyday lives at home, children, family, work, and they bring them out, and you're able to really get away and focus on yourself and your growth with your husband, wife.
We're, I would say, Emet Shabbaton veterans. So I like to think of an Emet Shabbaton where it's a checkpoint every 6 months, whether it's the winter retreat or the summer retreat. It's like, what have we done in the last 6 months, and where are we going for the next 6 months? Thank you so much for Emet. I like to take this moment to invite all young couples. Don't think twice when you get the email to sign up right away, because
our couples retreat are one of the highlights of the couples division. We're looking forward to planning the next one, and we really hope that the couples that came to the summer retreat and those who couldn't make it will be able to join us. And we hope to see you there.
See you in the next Shabbaton.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was actually one of my favorite events. I really hope we're not sure if we're going to be doing it this year, but we'll hopefully do that one, or if not, we have another retreat planned. Really, so much more that we want to do with the couples programming, and we hope that every single one of you in this room comes. You see, Emet has one goal: to help people come closer to Hashem, to build a relationship with Hashem, and that's really what it's all about. So really, a huge thank you to Emet and to all the staff. We have an amazing night for you. We have Rabbi Label Lamb, who's going to be here in a few minutes giving us some words of inspiration. We have David Rosenblatt, who's going to be doing an amazing magician show for us. And to introduce Rabbi Lamb, I'd like to introduce someone who doesn't really need an introduction, the CEO and the founder, one of the founders of Emet, Rabbi Akiva Rudenberg. Everybody please give him a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. Shavua Tov. It's really, really great to be here with all of you. I think for my wife and I, and for all of the staff at Emet, the highlight for us is when we get an opportunity to see each and every one of you. We don't always get a chance to see each other, and we like to say that Emet is a family, and it really is a family. I would like to think a very functional family. It's a family that cares about each other, that looks out for each other. And when we have these opportunities to share experiences together, events like this, it really is very meaningful for us, and I hope for all of you as well. I want to give a very big thank you to Shai Yunayev, Emet's couples director, HR director, who organized together with his team, from the admin team at Emet, all the details of this event. And I literally just show up as a guest. Thank you, Shai. Really appreciate it. And I want to give a very special shout out to all of the Emet staff who are here. I'm not going to mention everyone by name. Baruch Hashem, we're over 24 staff members. And I want to say Rabbi and Mrs. Kigel are not here tonight, but for a very good reason. They are in Israel right now, recruiting new staff to join the Emet team for September. And they send their best wishes to everyone. As many of you know, Emet is now on a mission to 3x, triple the entire reach of the organization over the next over the next 5 years. And should I go to a different spot maybe? Brachir. Is the echo because of the live? Or yeah?
Yes. No, you can turn the volume on.
Okay, sorry about that. So we're to go. Rabbi Yochanan and I were training for a marathon in Florida, and Rabbi Yochanan has 3 WhatsApp groups. If you're not part of it, please join them. 2 women's ones, 1 men's WhatsApp group, where literally hundreds of halacha questions are bombarded at him all week long, and he answers them with such clarity. I know people who follow the group, don't post their own questions, just follow the group to learn halacha from the way Rabbi Yochanan answers the questions. And I want to point out that one of the new projects that Emet is offering, and we're encouraging everybody here to take us up on this, is to bring Emet into your home. And Rabbi Yochanan is the top speaker for this, but there's other opportunities to have Rabbi Kraft, Rabbi Mosheev, myself, and other staff members of Emet to speak in your home. And the concept here is to bring somewhere between maybe 5 or 10 couples, could even be less, could be more, and to bring Torah into your home, and sometimes to bring people to those classes who maybe wouldn't regularly participate in an Emet event. There's a lot more that I could say about Emet, but Shai has a lot planned for tonight. I will just give a shout out again to the whole Emet team. I want to give big hakarat hatov to Hashem for allowing us to do this work. I feel blessed to be able to work in outreach, to be able to work with the most amazing students in the world, the most amazing students in the world. When we speak to other rabbis at conventions, Rabbi Kraft and I, we're like, Emet has the best students in the world. And I want to just encourage everybody here to, if you have a cousin, a relative, a friend who maybe was not yet part of Emet, whether they're in the campus level, the higher level, the couples level, introduce them to us. Our best students come from referrals. Please send them our way. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce Rabbi Lam, who's here with his wife. Thank you for being here. Rabbi Lam is truly an inspiration. Some of you know him from his work here in Shari Tzion. He was the principal in the Shari Tzion school for a few years. But Rabbi Lam is a person who inspires just by his being. There's an energy that just comes out from him. And he loves the Jewish people, and he's passionate about what he does. He educates and travels all around the world, teaching Torah, teaching Jewish ideas and concepts. I believe Rabbi Lam was a college football player, okay? So he can hold his own, not just in Gemara, but Rabbi Lam, please, without further ado. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that beautiful introduction. You're all doing the right thing. There's nothing more important, and there's no better investment of your time to improve your marriage, improve your relationship, husband and wife. It's the most important thing you can do for your children. It's the most important thing you can do for the Jewish people. And I'd like to share with you probably one of the most powerful and practical pieces of unsolicited advice that I have ever received, which means I was not looking for advice, and something came to me that I've shared with thousands and thousands of people. Sometimes we've had seminars and Shabbatonim, and people come back to me years later, and all they remember is this, what I'm going to share with you tonight. So let's dispense with everything else, and let's get right to the main thing. I remember one night, I was at home, and I was getting ready to go out to give a lecture in Queens. Okay, anybody heard of Queens? You know where that's at? I live in Muncie, and that night, so it was dinner time, 6, 7 o'clock. The kids are home. Some are taking a bath. Some have finished their homework. The dinner's on the ceiling. There's a lot going on. There was so many things that are happening at one time. Children of all ages. These ones are supposed to be going to bed. These ones are supposed to have finished dinner. This one's trying to do his homework. It's a balagan. And I usually drive myself, but that night there was a lecture that was taking place in Hebrew and in English, and I was going to give the English lecture. And there was another Rabbi Simcha Cohen who was coming from Eretz Israel, and he's going to give in Queens a lecture in Hebrew, in Ivrit. So we had a driver that was driving Rabbi Simcha Cohen, and they came to pick me up. So while everything was going on in the house and everything was a big stir, suddenly I hear the honk outside, bump, 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 bump. And I realized, I tell my wife, well, there's so many things to be done and there's so much going on. I tell her, sorry, I gotta go. Bye, And she gives me like okay, bye, And I go out the door. I take my little attaché case with my notes or whatever, and I head out the door. When I go down the hill, we lived on a hill, we go down the hill, I get to the car, the driver, Yossi, Barashma, how are you doing? And I said to Rabbi Cohen, with a long, beautiful white beard sitting in the back, he always speaks about one subject, Shalom Bayit, and he walks the talk. He's a very elegant, wonderful man. He wrote a book called What Did I Say, or What Did You Say, or What Did Somebody Say? He wrote a book about this subject. And so he only speaks Hebrew, and I only speak English. Or the Hebrew I speak is Mishnaic Hebrew. The Israeli cab drivers always answer me for some reason in English when I speak to them in Hebrew. They picked up right away that that's not my native language. So as soon as I get into the car, I say, Manishma, Rabbi Cohen, Eich Ata Margish, in my best spoken Hebrew. And he says to me, Rabbi Abel, Gebalta the bracha. Did you get the bracha? And I said, the bracha? Achalti kvar lifnei shatayim. I already ate 2 hours ago. I need lo ochel od levarech. And he said, lo bracha al ochel, not the bracha for the food. He said, I'm translating for you. Okay. He says, a bracha. He says to me like I'm supposed to know what he's talking about. I said, those Osher Yatzar posters that we have in our office that we distribute all over the world. You've seen those ones with the drawings around the outside. They have them in Farsi and in Spanish and in Russian and all the languages. I said, Yesh Harbe Od Sham. There's many there at the place that we're going to. Enano Tzurichim Od Osher Yatzar. He said, lo, Baracha. He says to me, Baracha. And I'm looking at him totally mystified. What does he want from me? He says, Bracha mi ishtecha, the bracha from your wife. And he says, how can a person, he starts quoting me statement after statement from the sages, that the blessing comes into the house only in the merit of the wife. And he quotes me another statement, and I've heard these statements and I've seen them before and I've had them highlighted in books at home, for him at home. But he's hitting me one after the other like a machine gun. And I'm listening and I'm going, okay, I hear. I told him, but Rabbi Cohen, we're late. He says, we'll wait, okay? Suddenly he's speaking English. He said, the bracha. We're speaking there for 7 minutes trying to understand each other, and finally I'm going back up the house. I climb the hill like a sheep, and I go and I knock on the door at my house. That's what you do before you enter your own house. I knock on the door. And I open up the door and I come in. There's a split level house with a railing up above. And suddenly my kids come running out and they say, Ima, Abba came back home. I left 7 minutes ago. And my wife comes out with twins and wrapped in a towel, just got out of the bath. And she said, what's going on? And I'm standing on the landing looking up at her. And I said, I forgot the bracha. And my wife said, I think we ate about 2.5 hours ago. I don't think you're allowed to make an after bracha anymore. And I said, no, Ima, the bracha. And she says, those Asher Yatzar posters, we got like boxes, whatever, take whatever your language you want on there. Farsi, Chinese, we got them all. Whatever you want to take, just take them and go. You were in a hurry before, you were late. And I said, no, Ima, she's not getting it, The bracha from you. And she's looking at me like, have you been drinking? And I said, no. She said, did you lose your job? I told her, I'm self-employed. That's hard, And I said, Ima, I said, ain't a bracha shui b'tot beiso shalada melav schus ishto. The blessing comes into the house, and blessing means money, my friends. Only in merit of the wife. How can I be successful in giving a lecture or doing anything, any kind of business deal or anything, unless I get your blessing? And my wife says to me, who am I, the Lubavitcher Rebbe? What do you want from me? I said, Ima, don't torture me. I said, I need your bracha. I need your bracha, Ima. So she sees that I'm serious. I'm not going anywhere at this point. And so she thinks, her eyes close and roll way in the back of her head. And she said, first of all, you should have kvitzas aderech. You should have a quick way to get there. Kvitzas aderech coming home. You should get home quickly. You should find a marv sometime when you're out there. And while you're there, she said, the words should come out of your heart, enter into the heart and the minds of the people who are there, and should make a difference in their lives and in the lives of all the Jewish people, should make a difference in the whole world. I said, Amen. Whoa. And I turned back to her and I said, Ima, I hope that the kids magically fall asleep and the homework gets done and the house gets cleaned up and you get a chance to read your favorite book and talk to your best friend on the phone. And she goes, oh, man, good luck to me without you, without any help. So I said, okay. And I leave. And, we went and gave a lecture, and it was it was an amazing lecture that night. And I felt the wind in my sails. And I realized that, wow. And I came home later on, I told the Ima, the lecture, because of your bracha, made such a huge difference. It really did. And because of that small piece of advice that I got from Rabbi Cohn, it came out that I don't go anywhere, and my kids don't go anywhere. I'll pull over to the side of the road, I'm about to go into a lecture, I'm about to give a class, I'm about to start something, and I said, Ima, Tani bracha, give me the bracha. I need the bracha. I can't do anything unless I get the blessing from my wife. And the beauty of it is that we're always together, even if we're working in different realms and different domains, we're doing things together, even when we're separate, and it's beautiful. And my children, if they're going to go for a test, or they're going for a basketball game, or whatever it is, they come and they bow their head and they say, Abba, Ima, give me the bracha. The bracha became a contagion of giving brachas and giving encouragement to each other in the house. It set a fire, a beautiful fire in the home. Beautiful. And it even went so far that one of the famous lecturers in the Jewish world, who used to come to my lectures and sit and take notes, he handed me a tape one day. And in this tape, he's saying that he heard from me, that this guy, that if you get a bracha from your wife, it's going to make a big difference. It put winds in your sails. So he said he started following that practice, and he used to come to my lectures, and now my merit became that I would come and substitute for him once in a while. He took off like a rocket ship. And he made a difference in the whole world. And he said it all became because he started getting a bracha from his wife. And he became so influential that I even came to him and I said, maybe I can get a bracha from your wife too? And he said, no, Rebbe Leibel, you got to get a bracha from your wife. I get the bracha from my wife. So it really is a very powerful and an amazing thing to be done, is to get that bracha. But I just want to give one little caveat, one little Surgeon General warning over here. I don't think it was too many months later, and we were practicing it. It was going great. And then one night, as Chatay Ani Maskir Hayom, I set a world record. I was home for about 8 minutes that I needed to turn around and just to get out and to give a lecture some other place, I think, where I was expecting a ride that night also. And in those 8 minutes I was home, I got 10 kids crying, you know? They said, don't draw with a crayon on the wall, put that down. I told you never, and you, if you ever, and they all started running to Ema. You know, I just did the worst thing, the quick parenting thing. Too quick, too aggressive, and everybody's crying, Ema. And then I hear the honk outside, bum, 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 bum. And I said, oh, Ema, can you, with all the kids around her, I said, Ema, can you give me the bracha? And she asked me, she says, what are you lecturing on tonight? I said, Chinuch Yeladim, educating children. She says, my bracha is that they should see right through you. I said, that's the bracha? She goes, that's the bracha for tonight, yeah? So my simple birchas hediyah, my simple blessing to everybody over here, and my eitzah that I'm sharing, that I shared from Rabbi Simcha Cohen. I have to meet up with him. I haven't seen him since then. But my simple is to get the blessing and to give the blessing. Everybody needs encouragement. Encourage each other as much as you possibly can. But make it even into a formal thing to get that bracha. And it's going to make a difference in your life. You'll see immediate results in Parnasa and in Shalom Bayis and all good things. But again, not only is it important to give the bracha, to get the bracha, but most importantly is to be worthy of the bracha. So when you get that bracha, it's going to make a big difference to you and to your entire family and to all the Jewish people. Thank you very much for the time together. Carlton.
Thank you, Rabbi Lam. I just want to share a short idea with everyone tonight that I think you'll find meaningful. Last week when I was at this conference, Rabbi Dr. Akiva Tatz, spoke about the topic of happiness. And this is a topic that's close to my heart. I'm actually working on a book, the early stages of a book about this topic. And Rabbi Lam is actually, Rabbi Tatz actually just wrote a book about Shabbos and holidays. It's going to be in the bookstores in the next few weeks, and it's about 50 pages regarding the topic of happiness. I just want to share with you a brief idea that he said and how I think it relates to all of us. So, he made a very interesting observation. And he said that in life, we strive to accomplish a goal. We're excited to accomplish something. If you tell a person all that effort that you're putting in, but you're not going to get to your result, you're not going to accomplish it. Let's say you're building a house or a family or whatever you're doing, you're not going to get to that goal. The person will lose their motivation. Because the motivation is because we are striving to accomplish something. We as human beings, we are extremely motivated. And it actually gives us joy to overcome gravity, so to speak, to overcome our challenges, to work against all odds and accomplish amazing things. So if you were told that you're not going to reach your destination, you would lose hope and lose that desire to move forward. But the interesting thing is that when you get to that destination, the real enjoyment is the process that led you up to there. All the steps that brought you to that final point is really where you get the satisfaction. So it's a little bit interesting, right? Our enjoyment, our happiness is because we're reaching towards a goal. But ultimately, when we reach the goal, it was the process and the effort and the steps that we took to get to that goal that really we look back at and say, wow, that was meaningful. And he made a very interesting point also. He said that it says in the time of Mashiach and Olam Haba, when the world to come, it's brought down that the trees will taste like the fruit. The actual tree will have the same taste as the fruit of that tree. And he made a point and he said, the message is that when we get to the final destination, which is what Olam Haba is about, we'll realize that the process is the result. And that's why the tree will taste like the fruit itself. Because the process itself, the tree is like the process to bring out the fruit, is also the result. And I would like to bring this message into our relationships. In our lives, we often get frustrated by situations that go on. Children that are not acting exactly the way we think they should, educational issues, financial issues, all different problems and issues that could come up in our life. But I believe that we need to keep our mind not just on the ultimate goal, but also realize that the process is really so important as well. And I would like to use the term embrace the process. Because in that process, in those actions, in dealing with those struggles, is really where we build our greatest character. And ultimately, when we reach the destination, we're going to look back at all those steps and realize that those steps is where the real joy came from. So yes, it's amazing to have goals. And I know many of you in this room, and those who I don't know, I look forward to getting to know. And there's a lot of aspiration in this room. There's a lot of goals. There's a lot of dreams. And it's amazing to have dreams. It's amazing to have unbelievable goals of building and creating and doing. But it's also important to remember that there's a process. And in that process is really where the true simcha, the true joy lies in the process. You know, we say in the pasuk, we say, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha. Tehillim, we say, serve Hashem with joy. In the pasuk in Parashas Kisavo, it says, Tachas asher lo avad Hashem lokecha lo avadata. You didn't serve God with joy. And Rabbi Taz pointed out, because simcha, joy, is an avoda. It's a work. It's a work in order to be able to appreciate the process. And if we can learn to appreciate the process, we can bring joy into everything that we're doing in life. There's actually some very interesting studies that came out that people look forward, the anticipation of a vacation is actually more pleasurable than the vacation itself. Okay? So somebody made an argument once, don't go on the vacation. Just look forward to going and don't go. Because once you go on the vacation, it often doesn't meet what your expectations were, right? But I think that it's good to have aspirations. It's good to have goals. It's good to look forward to amazing things. But at the same time, we need to appreciate the process, whether it's a relationship issue that we're dealing with or any kind of issue that we're dealing with. That process is, by infusing joy into that process, we actually can really appreciate our life in a whole different level. Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you, Rabbi Ruderberg. Is everybody having a good time? Okay, we're continuing the program. I really would like to, it's my honor and pleasure to introduce our entertainment for the evening. Please give your attention to David Rosenfeld. Round of applause. Oh, okay. Okay, David will be ready in a few minutes.
Raise your cup, praise Hashem from the depths of your heart. And I know that from here it will grow like it did before. Look around, everyone is thinking for you.
When David Roosevelt is finished, we're going to be having an amazing dessert prepared for you from the Cafe Muscat, so please don't go anywhere. I also want to be able to thank our DJ Amnon, so much. Thank you so much for being here. You're always supporting us. And thank you so much for the music.
Around, feet on the ground, head to the sky. Now we're not wasting our time.
Before we get started, could everyone please just take a moment and grab something small that you can hide in one hand? If you look around in your pockets, you might find chapstick, you might find lipstick, you might find a Listerine, you might find a bobby pin on your head. You probably have two and can spare one for a moment. If you have a crumpled up tissue, literally anything that's small that you can hide in one hand. I'm going to give everyone just a second to find something. If, for some reason, you don't have anything small that you can hide in one hand, please raise your hand. I'll come over and I'll give you a tissue. Just let me know if anyone doesn't have anything. We'll help you out right now. Looks like everyone has. Just wave your hand if you're desperate to find something. Yes, you over there. Let me help you out. Here you go. Who raised their hand over there? There was someone here who's looking for something. You need something right over here. That's fine too. That sticker is great. Someone needs anything? Everyone has. You have something. A bobby pin, a kippah clip. Looks like no one's waving their hands. This is the best audience I've had. Usually there's at least 2 or 3 people. You need something. Yeah, the watch even. You can just hold a watch in your hand, probably. But here you go. I'm going to pass that to you. Oh, terrible at that. You need something as well. Yeah, I know. So there'll be someone. Here we go. Okay, everyone has something in their hand that they can hide. That's perfect. That means we're going to start right now. My name is David Rosenfeld, and I'm a magician and mentalist. And mentalism is just tricks of the mind. It's experiments of psychological manipulation. My job is to try to influence and predict human behavior. Do you think you're all predictable? Someone's like 100%. Just ask my wife. Everyone, please, stand up. So I studied magic and psychology and the power of the perfectly placed lie. And I'll be using all of those skills with you now. I'll have to be dishonest with you sometimes, but always honest about my dishonesty. So grab something small like a coin or kippah clip and hold it behind your back at the fingertips of both hands. Anything small held behind your back at the fingertips of both hands. In a moment, I will ask you to bring your hands out in front of you like this, concealing the object in either hand. Well, not yet, but I applaud your enthusiasm over there. Don't decide which hand you're going to put the object into yet, because I will attempt to influence this decision for you. So that for now, just keep it behind the back at the fingertips. It feels like a 50-50 choice. Nevertheless, you can either put it on this side, the left. Yes, that is not my left, that is your left, or the other side. It's completely up to you. So when you do this in a moment, you will take your hands out in such a way that the hand on one side will be empty and the hand that's left will have the object, the coin, the thing in it. So think about it, but make a conscious decision. And when you are ready now, please bring out your closed hands. Let's see them all out there. Yes, excellent. Everyone's participating. I love it. 2 rounds. This first round tells me what sort of audience you are. I tell you I'm going to try to influence your decision. And I'm counting on most of you listening out for any attempt on my part to do that, and then do the opposite. So the moment I slightly overemphasize the word left, as I did, I'm counting on most of you putting it in your right. And if it is in your right hand, please sit down. 2 rounds, I said 2 rounds. It's a nice number of you, but I have another round to go. If you are still holding the object, if you are still holding the object, I lost everyone. If you are still holding the object, you are the challengers, the people most likely to catch me out, or just the people not paying attention. Who knows? But if you're still holding the object, hands behind your back, mix it up a few times. You are the challengers, the people most likely to catch me out. And when you are ready, the remaining of you left, please bring out your closed hands. This second round, you should be feeling pride, like you want to catch me out, but I said, you are the challengers. And when you may have done that, particularly when I make this gesture and say, make up your mind, you may have put it back in the same hand. Back in your left hand, and if it isn't your left hand, please sit down. Look at that. In only 2 rounds, most of you, and I just said it was only 2 rounds, most of you are out. And this is just to show you how easily influenced we can all be. In only 2 rounds, most of you are out. If you were still holding the object, congratulations. You are the people I would have the most difficulty to work with. Probably for anyone to work with. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone take a seat except for you and join me on stage. You can put that down. You don't want to join me? No, but will you join me? Please, come on up. I need participants. Don't be shy. I won't embarrass anyone, I promise. But please join me and make some noise for my participant as she comes up to the stage. And you can drop whatever was in your hand just as you come on up. What is your name? Sarah? Sarah, right over here on my left is perfect. Sarah, we're going to play a game together that is very similar to what you just experienced, Sarah. I have this game piece from a Bananagrams. It's a perfect Shabbos game if you've never heard of Bananagrams. The 2 tiles, letter tiles that I took together are B and S. Now, this is a family show, but of course you know what BS stands for, yes? Would you hold out your hand just like this? And I'd like you to please close your hand. Turn to me. And I want you to put both hands behind your back. You're going to decide in a moment which hand it's going in, and then you're going to take your hands out like this. If I guess correctly, 1 time, that's a 50-50 chance, and no one will be impressed. I know that. But if I guess correctly 4 times in a row, that is a 6.25% chance, and I'm hoping to get that with you. You're going to get that poker face, I know. I also, by the way, have a prediction. A prediction inside this envelope. I'll leave right there. And a bunch of random words we'll get to in a moment. Sarah, are you ready? All right, take your hands out just like this. Both hands closed just like this. Excellent. Sarah, this is what this list is about. If it's in this hand, I want you to think of a boy. This is a couple's event. It should be easy to think of one particular boy. But if it's in this hand, I want you to think of a girl. But I want you to get this really in your mind. Lift your hands just a tiny bit. Perfect. And focus in your mind. If it's in this hand, you're only thinking of a boy. And if it's in that hand, you're thinking of a girl. Do that now in your mind. Focus. Concentrate. Very nice. You are thinking of a boy. Open up that hand. Yes, there it is. Terrific. Please put it behind your back. It's 50-50 the first time. I know that, but I appreciate the kindness behind your back. And now you're going to decide which hand it's going in. I'll tell you something about yourself I just learned. I put it in your right hand when I gave it to you. You then switched it. That tells me you're a consistent person, and consistent people will now usually switch it back. But you know that I know that you know that I know that, so you might not want to do it, Sarah. It's a completely free choice. Hands out just like this. just not taking any chances. And separate your hands just a tiny bit, just like this. Excellent. Sarah, this time, we have these words right here. If it's in this hand, I want you to think of a red shirt, but really visualize a red shirt, only if it's in this hand. If it's in the other hand, I want you to think of a black shirt. Now, we're both wearing black shirts. It should be so easy for you to see a black... Perfect, you're thinking of a red shirt. Open up that hand. Yes, there it is, 2 times. Now we should be getting somewhere. All right, hands behind your back. Sarah, you are doing great. You're keeping that poker face. You're playing great. You're playing this BS game well. Whenever you're ready, I want you to take your hands out just like... This is the 3rd time. It gets a little trickier now. Because what you're doing right now is you're thinking, how do I catch him out? I was too consistent, so maybe I should switch it, or maybe I should keep it. But who would put in the same hand 3 times? What are you, crazy? I get it. I get the feeling. So Sarah, whenever you're ready, hands out just like this. Terrific. Sarah, this time, if it is in that same hand, but only if it's in this hand, I want you to focus on blue shorts. The weather has been crazy, right? I mean, you could literally wear shorts today, but blue shorts in your mind. If it's in the other hand, the hand that would have required you to switch hands, I want you to think of green shorts. Do that now, and without saying anything, focus on that image of green shorts or blue. Excellent, there it is. Blue shorts, open up that hand. Let me see, just show it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you're not being polite. All right, hands behind your back, Sarah. Now, Sarah, I can tell you this. When I do this with a gentleman, at this point, they always put it in their back pocket, inevitably. And half of you are thinking of, I wish I were up there and put it in my back pocket. But Sarah, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna play fair, and if you don't have a back pocket, it's even better. But Sarah, before you decide which hand to put it in, since this is the 6.25% chance one, this is when they're all gonna clap for you in a moment, I want you to listen to these words carefully. I want you to put it in the hand that just feels right, and the hand that's left will be empty. I'm kidding, Sarah, that's just a joke. Whatever, you're ready, hands out, it's a free choice. Hands out just like this. Sarah's gonna be switching hands like 17 times before she decides. It's as random as it can be, isn't it? It just seems completely random. Like you're trying to catch me out, but it's a strange feeling you're experiencing. All right, hands out, Sarah, right now, let's do it. Perfect. This time, if it is in this hand, which would mean that you kept it in the same hand 4 times, but only if it's in this hand, I want you to think of a bicycle. If it's in this hand, the hand that means you switched it, I want you to think of a skateboard and really visualize it. You could see that skateboard going, or you could see that bicycle turning, whatever it is, but only if it's in this hand are you thinking of a skateboard. Open up that hand. There it is, 4 times in a row. Would you hold this for everyone to see just for a second? Because you, Sarah, ended up thinking of a boy with a red shirt, blue shorts, and a skateboard. And it was a completely free choice of which hand to put it in. But I said I had a prediction inside this envelope. Inside this envelope is nothing else except for a boy with a red shirt, blue shorts, and a skateboard. And in the very beginning of this little experiment, I asked you, do you know what BS stands for? It stands for Bart Simpson. Everyone make some noise for Sarah. You were absolutely amazing. Go take a seat. Thank you so much. All right, I need someone here who's got an iPhone, the battery isn't about to die. I know most people's their battery's about to die. It's so late now. And has a calculator. The calculator app. Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand if you have one. Most of you have to have an iPhone with a calculator. I can tell you, I see someone who is not raising their hand, but the people around them are just pointing to him so much. He's wearing a red shirt with glasses, a kippah, and he's smiling. That's him. Yes, please stand up and bring your iPhone. Please bring your iPhone. Terrific. Come on up. Yeah, where's your iPhone? You have it? Oh, perfect. Could you unlock it, of course? Open up your calculator. Yeah, sure. Good. Everyone give him a big mazel tov. He just got married. You have it? You have it? Perfect. Excellent. Nina. Lena. Nice to meet you. Perfect. This is perfect. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to walk to a table that you were not sat at. I'll hold your phone open so everyone can see. And point to someone who maybe you don't know that well. Maybe it just feels random or it feels right. And ask them to stand up by just pointing to them randomly. Go up to a different table. Go ahead. I'm going to get out what I need here. Yes, please stand up. We'll take a picture. Just kidding. Please, would you please stand up and bring yourself over to another table and point to someone, maybe the opposite sex if you could, just so it gets a little bit more random here, and point to them, please. Rabbi, come on up. And please, both of you, join me. All I've been doing is pressing your screen to make sure it doesn't lock. Would you stand right over there, and you two right next to me over here. In fact, you right over there would be perfect. That way you're not influenced by each other's thoughts. I have something here that none of you know what it is. I didn't set up anything with you ahead of time. I told you what was inside. Same thing with you. Excellent. And of course, you have no idea what's inside. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put in a random, let's go with a random 3-digit number. Excellent, Chris. Times. Could you please put in a random 3-digit number? Nice, small one. And could you please put in a random 2-digit number? And take your phone, please, and press equals. Do you have some big random number now on the screen? Yeah. Right, of course, it's not going to be anything significant. But I would like you, so everyone can see it, to say each number slowly. The first number is?
5.
5.
7.
7. I'm hearing two voices, so it's harder. Just one person. I heard 5, 7, 7. 3. 4. 5.
9.
Oh man, I'm running out of space. 9.
3.
3. That's it?
Yep.
Oh, that's perfect. It just ended perfectly. 5, 7, 7, 3, 4, 5, 9, 9, 3. That is the number on your screen, yes?
Yes.
That number was generated by taking a random number times your random number, and we didn't set up anything ahead of time. You pressed equals on your phone. If that number is inside here, well, that'd be kind of crazy. Everyone, please give them a round of applause as they take a seat so they can see for themselves. Go take a seat. Just confirm again, it was 5, 7, 7, 3, 4, 5, 9, 9, 3, yes? Excellent, go take a seat. It's just inside here. They're all going to think we're in cahoots, guys. But let's see. Oh, I packed the wrong container. This is embarrassing. Please, someone, what did I bring here? They are eggshells. Yeah, I didn't bring the number. Oh, I know what happened. I didn't have a chance to do any of the magic. It was your random numbers on your phone. You press equals. I bring eggshells. I'll do the magic now. Eggshells, eggshells, eggshells. Everyone, please make some noise for my 3 amazing participants. That is weird. All right. You know, speaking of predictions, we have all these interesting predictions. I have a prediction inside this bag. And I can't think of a better spot than this little spot right there to hold it. There's someone in this room that I'm going to be using for this. And they're sat right over here. It's this seat. Just Cruz, you stay there. This seat, I have a feeling, will be the right person for what's inside that bag. We're going to come to that at the end of the show. But now I'd like everyone to start thinking back to their childhood. Their childhood. And I want in your mind for you to replay these memories of being a child and seeing a pet. Now, if you did not have a childhood pet yourself, you might recall a neighbor or a friend who had a pet, and you remember their name. You can remember what this pet looked like. As I get out my Sharpies and cards, please raise your hand. I need about 7 people. Raise your hand if you were able to recall the name of a childhood pet. Over here. Keep your hands raised so I can see. That's 1, 2. Any ladies? Yes, you as well. You, perfect. And over here, excellent. And I stay in one side only so that I don't look like I'm doing anything sneaky. But what I'd like you to do, if you're raising your hand, and keep your hands raised, is to get this name in your mind. I'm going to hand you a card and a Sharpie. If I give you a card, I'd like you to hold it sideways, like this. On the very top, I'd like you to write your name in clear, bold letters so later everyone can see it nicely. And then underneath, in clear, bold letters, I want you to write the name of this childhood pet very cleanly so that everyone can see it later, the name of this childhood pet. Only if I give you a card. But when I give you a card, please don't write anything until I've walked away and I look away. So I'm going to stay on this side if I could. So you can put your hands in if you're on that side. If I hand you a card, keep your hand raised, please. Yes, please take a card and a Sharpie. Don't write anything yet, please. You as well? Excellent. I see you're raising your hand. If you could please grab a Sharpie and a card. And if I'm not mistaken, there were some ladies on this side. If there's any ladies, that would be helpful. Yes, you. If you could just take one card and a Sharpie. Don't write anything down yet, but you remember what to do, right? Your name on top, and then underneath the name of the childhood pet. We have someone right here. Excellent. What is your name? Don't tell me. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. That's fine. Was there anyone else? Terrific. You young lady here, would you grab one card? There's two left. There's two cards. I know it's a little bit sticky. There are just two, but there's one. And please remember, don't write anything down yet. And you, would you please raise your hand? Yes, you remember childhood, and you take that one last card. And that's right. Don't write anything yet. Don't write anything yet. Wait till I walk away. All right, terrific. If you have a card, I would like you now to please hold it sideways and write down the name of your name right on top, and very clearly underneath, the name of your childhood pet. Please do that now. Please write down this childhood pet name, and I'm going to ask everyone else to please join me now in stretching out your hands. Stretch out your hands, everyone else, while they're writing that down. Stretch them out, though. Really stretch them out. Excellent, just like that. And if you could, now, take your hands and bring them down so that the thumbs are down, only if you don't have a card. And keep it down like that. Take your left hand, put it over your right, and clasp your fingers. Hey, get over here, stand right next to me. Join me, come over here. Yeah, right over here, right next to me, perfect. Hands out like this, and then thumbs down. Left hand, take your left hand over your right, and clasp your fingers. We all did the same thing, this is perfect. Now, take your pointer fingers and point them out. And your thumbs, these thumbs right here, point them down. So it looks like an upside down water gun. On the count of 3, we're all gonna do the same thing together because we started together, we're gonna end together. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. All right, go back to where you're going. Be careful, I water gun spill. If you have your card, please take the Sharpie and cover it. Then, put the card face down in your hand. If it's face up, it's not mind reading, it's just reading. So please keep it face down and put the Sharpie inside this tin and the card in my hand. That is perfect. I think there were some people over here. The card goes face down. Make sure it's face down. You as well, face down. Just the card. Yeah, be careful. Excellent. And I believe there were some people over here as well. There was a young lady over here. Excellent. Terrific. And yes, if you could do that. Oh, and you didn't tell me your name, right? I know. Perfect. Excellent. And was there someone over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, should be 2 more people. And Sharpie. And you as well. Face down in my hand. And as everyone is watching, you can see that these are staying face down. And I need a participant to help me out. You haven't helped me. I know. Would you please stand up and join me right over here? Excellent. I'd like you to take these cards and face down, mix them up so they're in a random sequence. Although I have a terrible memory, it's possible I could have remembered whose was where. So face down, keep them face down, like this. So yeah, no one can see underneath. And start mixing them up. That's perfect. And while you're doing that, I'll tell you that the selection you make just has to feel right. It has to just be completely random or just a gut instinct. And whenever you're ready, just take one out. Took one out and slide it face down inside this envelope. That's excellent. Terrific. I want you to hold on to this one. The other ones we don't need, and I'm going to keep them face down right over there. But you can stay right here. I have another card, and I need someone now to think of a childhood friend. It's a lot easier than a pet if you've never had a pet. But you could definitely right now be thinking of a childhood friend. Someone that you went to school with, went to camp with, played on your block, who you could vividly remember the details of their face, their laugh, their smile, anything like that. Get it in your mind. And please raise your hand. Raise your hand if you are thinking of someone who is a childhood friend. That is interesting. I'd like if you could point. Actually, not point. Go over to someone and point to them if they're raising their hand. Thank you. You found someone? Who was it? Please stand up and join me right over here. On this card, I want you to write the childhood friend's name right across the top. When you're done, I want you to close the flap. But wait till I turn around. And I know there's a camera right there, but I'll try to make sure. Just write their name down and then push it down into the envelope and then close the flap. Have you done that? I'll take the envelope. Excellent. Now, I don't want to lick it closed because it'll show me there, but would you come back and you could take a seat? Come back. If you could take these two envelopes, and be careful because of the flap is kind of open. I want you to, behind your back, stand right over here. Behind your back, start mixing them up a little bit. One over the other, and then just so that you just kind of forget which one is which. Does that make sense? Yeah, I've already forgotten which one I handed to you. Now, I want you to take your hands and hold them to the sides, just like this. One in one hand, one in the other, and stand right next to me. And we'll be on the camera. That's perfect. Now, I don't know which one has the childhood pet. Who you selected with the childhood pet in one of the envelopes. I do know the other envelope is yours. What is your name?
Yaakov.
Yaakov? Yaakov, you're thinking of a childhood friend. And that's in one of the envelopes. This is where it gets fun. I want you just to stay very still. The one in your left hand, I have just a feeling that that is the one with the childhood pet. Please raise your hand if you were one of the people who have a childhood pet that was written down. Nice little number of you. Don't. Stay still. It's coming from right over here. The feeling I'm getting is coming from probably one of these two ladies. And I'm getting a name that starts, now I think as a joke, I think I was joking with you and I think you might have said your name, but I actually didn't catch it. The name I'm getting, not the pet name, but the person who wrote it, the one that you just took out randomly, starts with an N. Was the name, do you have an N also in your name? It is also an N? That's interesting. You both have an N that you wrote down. That's interesting. So I do have an N. You might have told me, but I forgot, and I haven't heard at all your name. There's another letter that just is coming to me right now. It's an I. Is there an I in your name? How about yours? Okay, so it was Nina? Excellent, Nina. Your childhood pet name. You haven't told it to me before the show, correct? And it might not even be in that envelope. In fact, it might not even be in either envelope, depending on which one you took out. But Nina, I want you to send me a mental image of this pet. Picture their size. It's small. Is it small? It was big. Very interesting. This was a big dog. It was big or no? Was it a dark dog? Brown. Very interesting. I want you to send me the name, in your mind, don't say anything out loud, but send me the name. It's a short name. You just did it so quickly, yes? It is a short name. It's not even short for something else, like Artie for Arthur. It's just a short name, right? Keep focusing and send me a mental image of the letters. I noticed there was an I in your name. There's an I in your childhood pet's name as well, yes? This feels a little spooky, I know. But I want you to send me, it's so short, I have a feeling I'm only 2 letters off. I think it's like 3 letters. I think you're thinking of, what is the name of your childhood pet? Everyone please make some noise for Nina, who got right inside of my head. Now let me take this if I could. And the other one, well, we know it's yours, if this is right. It's possible this isn't even Dig. And you can take a seat. Thank you so much. Give her a round of applause as she helped me. This might not even be Dig's. In fact, there's a good chance it's not. It could be in this envelope, or it could be in neither. But I'm going to kind of look away because I'm nervous when this happens. But you're going to tell me if it does say that. Yes? Oh, whoops, that's upside down. Everyone, please make some noise one more time. Anita, you're incredible. Thank you so much. I'll get rid of this one. This envelope, we know exactly who it belongs to. I don't even need it. I'm just going to I'll put it away so that we don't get to it. Yaakov, yes? Yaakov, you are thinking of a childhood friend. Someone you remember maybe from your neighborhood. Probably not, I don't think it was sleepaway camp or anything like that. No, it was someone on your block maybe, someone you were close to, yes? You can picture in your mind, even though it was a long time ago, you can picture exactly what they looked like back then. You can picture every detail about them in your mind. And I want you to send me that mental image of what they look like. I want you to be honest. Yaakov, is this what they look like? Yaakov, I'm kidding. That was actually just to relieve the tension. I know Nina was sweating over there. So this was just to release some of that tension and get into your subconscious mind of your childhood friend. Because this was a while ago for you. That's not it. It's a long time ago for college age kid, childhood friend. Yaakov, are you still friends with this person? You see them regularly or no? But you can picture them as a child, yes? You can picture them laughing. You can picture them running, not running. Because I'm asking you that because I want you to imagine that you're calling them over and they run over to you. If they can't run over to you, just picture them coming over to you as a child. I have an interesting thing with the letters that you're sending me in your mind, but with this child, you know what, just cycle through the letters in their name just one more time in your mind. Just say, I'm seeing like the same letter twice. That's kind of strange. But yes, okay, so it was, I think that letter, it's not the vowel, no, I think I got it. Yaakov, for the very first time, as loud as you can, you're not on the mic, what is the name of this childhood friend? Tommy. Everyone, please make some noise for Yaakov. Yaakov, you're incredible. We have a little bit of time left. I need a lady who's got an iPhone. A lady with an iPhone, with the battery still working. Please do not be embarrassed. As you can see, I will not embarrass anyone. This is all in good fun. So please raise your hand with a lady with an iPhone. She's busy. She looks busy and she's turning away. They were pointing to you. Please, I don't take up everyone's night, but if you can, just be kind. Yes, please stand up. Please stand up and join me. Yes, you're so kind. Everyone give her a round of applause for helping me out. On my phone, I have a list of 100 celebrities. Would you open up your phone into Safari? Yeah, that's what is that? Here, go back to the screen. Yes, perfect. I'm going to go to a website that I'm sure you've heard of. It's nothing unusual, but once it loads, I know there's not the greatest service here, but once you see this website, it's familiar to you, yes? I want you to think of a celebrity that's just as familiar to you as this website. And I'm going to just click into the search bar. It's Google, by the way. And I want you to start typing in the name of this celebrity, okay? It's not going to be a secret. I can see it. It's totally fine. But when you're done, click search. So think of a celebrity who's really famous. While you're doing that, I'll tell everyone that I have a prediction here. It is not the celebrity that you're going to be thinking of right now, but write it down as we're running out of time, and then just click the blue search button when you're done. Excellent. I didn't even actually take a look. Who is it? So he's super famous. Sly. Sylvester Stallone. Sly. Who's a fan? Rocky, right? Yeah, we have look at that. You picked the perfect celebrity. The celebrity inside this envelope is not Rocky. I'll tell you that. But like I said, on my phone, just unlock my phone, I have a list of 100 celebrities. You're going to give me a number from 1 to 100. You can put your phone down just for a second. And we're going to see what celebrity is next to that number. Now, Sylvester Stallone is on my list. but it's not my prediction. So I'm hoping the number that you pick is not Sylvester Stallone. What number are you thinking from 1 to 100? Come a little bit closer. You said 55, yes? They didn't hear you. I'm going to open up my notes app. You can watch for everyone that this is my notes app and this is celebrities, yes? This is dated yesterday, this list. The number 1 celebrity is Tom Hanks, super famous. Number 2 is Kim Kardashian, Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson. Dame Judi Dench is number 5, but every single number is different. Sylvester Stallone was number 10. That's how often he comes up when I do this experiment. 100 would have been Jack Nicholson, but your number was what?
55.
When you see 55, please read it out loud.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio, as famous as Sylvester Stallone. You could just say Leo and we'd all know who you're talking about. I also have, just for fun, a shopping list. We have apples, orange juice, milk, rice, eggs, sugar, spaghetti. 100 would have been kiwis, but I remember your number now was 55. Out loud?
Pizza.
Pizza, we love a good dairy meal. Let's see here. I have a greatest movies of all time list. My favorite movie of all time is The Goonies. If The Goonies is at number 55, we have ourselves a miracle. I'm going to open up the greatest movies. You can see number 1 is The Godfather, 2 is Shawshank, 3 is Schindler's, all the way to number 55. And you know it has to be. Read it out loud.
Back to the Future.
Oh, not even close, not even close. But that just shows you how impossible these predictions can be. There was no way for you to predict my favorite movie would be your randomly selected number. But I wasn't focused on the movie. I was focused on the celebrity. And the celebrity was Leonardo DiCaprio. Inside this envelope, which I couldn't switch, my hands were on the phone, is nothing else except for now, before you sit down, please raise your hand if on your phone, I recognize you. Good to see you guys. On your phone, you have Instagram, the social media app Instagram. Raise your hand. Please open up your Instagram right now. Go to Instagram right now and go to David Rosenfeld Magic. David Rosenfeld Magic. Once you're at David Rosenfeld, it's all one word, David Rosenfeld Magic, please raise your hand when you are there. Someone, she answered, someone's got to have, but yes, would you please come up?
I'm connected to the Wi-Fi.
He's got the Wi-Fi. Do you have the Wi-Fi? Is that how yours worked? That's incredible. You have my Instagram, yes? Using my microphone. Please read out loud my bio.
You were thinking of Sylvester Stallone, weren't you?
Everyone, please make some noise for these incredible people who are helping out. Thank you so much. You're incredible. All right, it is time to end the show with my special guest, who's been sitting in that special chair. And she's completely ignoring me right now, and she's not hurting my feelings at all. But you know I'm talking about you. Everyone, please give her a warm welcome to the stage. Terrific. What is your name? Miriam? Miriam, I want you to stand right over here, a little 2 steps forward, and relax. Calm your mind. In fact, wiggle your fingers next to yourself. And I want you to clear your mind. I could just have a little bit of silence just for the end, because it's kind of hard to get right inside of your mind with all the pressure, right? There's a little bit of pressure to come up in front of everyone, isn't there? But just clear your mind and imagine there's a blank screen between you and me. And on this screen, you're starting to see something grow. You're seeing an image of a number from 1 to 50. And as this number is growing, you're seeing it more bright and vivid. But here's the strange thing. Everything you've heard till now has been random, right? Random numbers, random foods, random names. All of it has been random. So I'd ask you to stop thinking of that number from 1 to 50. Turn to everyone, and in a loud, clear voice, please shout out loud the new number you're thinking of from 1 to 50. Out loud.
24.
24 is so random, right? But it's not set up at all, was it? I didn't ask you to think of 24 ahead of time, although that was that important chair. I didn't come up to you before the show and say, please say 24, right? Excellent, that's the only important thing. I have every single number you could have thought of, from 1 to 50, including your number, 22, 23, 24. I'll take out 24 and show you that on the back of these cards are different foods. We have chocolate, peas, tofu, eggs, lettuce. What's that one? Ice cream. Delicious ice cream, of course, that's number 45. Beef, beans, chicken, nuts, pasta, lemon, potatoes, pizza. Where's my volunteer before? That's Leonardo DiCaprio's favorite to be photoshopped with. Yes, that would have been number 37. We have bagels, curry, every single number you could have thought of has a different food. On the grapes, by the way, my friends over there remember grapes. Every single number, something different. But yours was number 24. And that was after you changed your mind at the very last second. And the random food on the back of 24, okay, is apple. I think it was the first thing on my shopping list, if you remember. But apple, totally random, right? Random number, random food. But is it really random? Is there free will, free choice, fate, determinism? I don't know. But I do believe in a little bit of influence and a lot of Miriam's intuition. Because that bag has been sat there from the beginning of the show. I haven't touched it. As I take it out, I ask everyone to please get ready to give Miriam a round of applause, because of course there could only have been inside an apple. Miriam, don't take a seat. Thank you so much. Everyone, thanks for joining. I think there's going to be a big dessert for you, but before I go, I'm so sorry. That movie, I told you my favorite movie was The Goonies, but the movie at your number was so different. What was the movie at your number? I wish I could go back in time and prove to you all that was actually my favorite movie of all time. Everyone, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your couples night. Thank you, Emet. Thank you.
Thank you, David Rosenfeld. That was incredible. In just a few minutes, we're going to have dessert. Everybody just give them a few minutes so they can set up. I just want to be able to thank a few people. Yeah, Sarah would like to say a few words, everyone.
I just want to say, there's a lot of good things that go on in the Emet office. Lots of good things. First of all, hi, everybody. It's so nice to see everyone here. Thank you, Shai, for working really hard making this happen. I am recording myself because I just want to say that, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scene of everything that we do. And the office could be hard and fun and everything all together, but there's one person that literally puts a smile on my face when I walk in. There's the first person I see. Today is his 1-year anniversary for joining Emet. Welcome to Emet and happy anniversary, Shlomo!
Feet on the ground, head to the sky. Now we're not wasting our time.
Thank you for always smiling and really making everything so awesome. He has an amazing voice. He would have sang for us. His voice is a little bit out. But I will be posting a video of him on Emet's Instagram. So if you're on Emet's Instagram, he did quite a scene with us when we had our Hanukkah party. And he has an amazing voice. So check out Emet's Instagram soon to hear him speaking.
Thank you, Sarah. As Rabbi Rudenberg was mentioning earlier, one of the things that we implemented at Emet is that we created an administrative team. And most of the people from the administrative team is here. Shlomo Mashkava was here. I wanted to thank him so much for helping us. This event would not have been possible without him. We also have our logistics coordinator, Miriam Kandiati. Miriam literally set up everything here. She got the food, the orders, she got the plates, she went to amazing savings, she put together those wonderful gift baskets with the wine. So I really wanted to be able to thank her. A round of applause for you. Thank you so much, Miriam. I wanted to thank the entire Emet staff. I'm not going to mention every single one of you by name, but honestly, for those of you who don't know, we work together amazingly because we're an amazing family. And I've only been part of the staff for about 1.5 years, but I'm so incredibly honored and humbled to be part of the staff. And the reason why we're able to put such events together like this, and we do so many more throughout the year, it's really because of the fact that we're such a very close family and we work so well together. So a round of applause for Emet. I wanted to thank every single one of you for coming. The photo booth is still open. Feel free to go and take some more pictures. The pictures are ready for you. If you already took your picture, there's wonderful desserts that are being prepared in just a few moments. And enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you so much for coming.
Sexy, 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 כן, אני אומר שוב לעצמי ומדכן שזה הרגע שהכי חשוב להם וגם את זה אסור בכלל להתעלם הם מסבירים לי שזה לא נורמל שכל החברים קופצים עומדים אליי אז אני שם להם קרע וקר זה שתזכרו אותו כך טוב אתה צריך לקרס ספון וגם טוב ואני צועק במיקרופון מזל טוב מזל טוב זה הרגע שחיכיתם לו בלי סוף הצלילים שרים ומנגנים שרק טוב ואני צועק יותר חזק מזל טוב מזל טוב Tu la portes en toi, mais toi, on te persécute. Jamais je t'oublierai. Tous ensemble, tous ensemble, tous on va rêver, on va danser, on va chanter, on va briller en cette fête de ta beauté. Tous ensemble, de ta beauté on en parle. A beautiful reflection of your beauty's eye. Tout ce monde qui marche dans tes rues, cette foule qui m'a enflé. Gloire, c'est ton nom. Toi, mon envie. Jamais je t'oublierai. Car, yeah, 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 baby. Tout ça, ça, ça. Je t'aime, tous on va arriver, on va danser, on va chanter de ta beauté, on va s'extasier de ta beauté. Tous ensemble, that gold city, the Q's crown, it shines bright, the free town, ain't a fire in the world, man. זה משהו desvío el mundo, leja y Elohim. Habino be'amocho, leja y Elohim. Hakaro be'adulo, leja y Elohim. Hadeo be'adibu, leja y Elohim. Mi, use, se, keili, viande. Mi, use, se, keili, viande. Let me, lecha, yo Elohim. Lecha, yo Elohim. Let me, lecha, yo Elohim. Lecha, yo Elohim. better day is on its way. And in the morning, we're gonna see the sun. No tomorrow's gonna come. מחר השמש תרח. כולנו נשמח. מחר הכל יתבהר. רק צריך להאמין שאפשר לחכות. מחר השמש תרח. כולנו נשמח. לא נצטרך עוד לקרוא. מחר הכל יתבהר. רק צריך להאמין שאפשר לחכות. מחר